Hey everyone, welcome to my new channel, Chess Does Cars, where everything automotive like car DIY, performance DIY, stuff like that, drives will stay, so that all the tech DIY and watches can stay in the old channel, Chess Does Stuff, to like avoid just general clutter and keep things a little tidier. Now we have here a 2020 Jaguar F-Pace SVR. Now recently we had new tires installed. Since this is technically a 5-year-old car, I also had the TPMS sensors replaced. And with the way Jaguar Land Rover sets up their TPMS sensors, we actually need to wake them up from sleep mode. Now let's get in the car and I'll show you what that means. Fun fact, that start-stop button pulses at the same resting heart rate as a Jaguar does. So let's start the car. And you can see over here we have a bunch of tire pressure monitoring system faults. Now it's really nothing serious. The thing is that most TPMS sensors ship with the sensors in sleep mode. So we have to have the right tool to wake the sensor up, and that's the point of today's video. So let's hit OK to get rid of that. So what happened here was that to save a little bit of money, I didn't purchase my TPMS sensors from the dealer because the dealer wanted, like, looking at prices online, dealers typically want 150, 160 a pop for each sensor. But I was able to find an independent seller that could sell a set of 4 for $160, and that's right about the correct price range, even from reputable independent sources such as Atlantic British, I think, over in Europe. I don't think it was a price that was too good to be true. Now, the factory Continental TPMS sensors have a part number S1800-52067A, and I'll have that on the screen for you guys. And the TPMS sensors that I purchased were S1800-52028. Now, I haven't seen any online sources that confirm that this part, the one that ends in 2028, that I purchased, was interchangeable with the factory one. So when I was trying to figure that out, I just took the dealer's word for it. Now, if you see this uploaded in YouTube, then everything probably worked out just fine. Now, one more thing before we dive right in is that this whole waking up the TPMS sensor thing is typical of JLR vehicles, but everything that you will see in this video will probably apply to other makes and models that use Continental TPMS sensors as well. One thing I'd like to point out right now is that this particular F-Pace and newer JLR vehicles, I think starting around 2013 or 2014, use 433 megahertz sensors. And the models that use TPMS sensors that come before those years use 315 megahertz sensors, I think. So just be mindful of that when you're trying to buy sensors. Again, that's for JLR vehicles, so if you have a different make model car that uses Continental TPMS sensors, I'd suggest doing your own research from owner forums and other sources like that. Now, for Jaguar Land Rover vehicles specifically, you don't need to program sensors one by one. As long as the sensors are awake, the vehicle will automatically determine which sensor is on which corner and figure things out for you. But that's the thing, they have to be awake. And like I said, most sensors that you buy from independent sources ship in ship mode to preserve battery life, and you have to change them to park mode to get them communicating with your car. Now, for this F-Pace, we did the tire change 2 or 3 weeks ago. We've driven for hundreds of miles and the car still hasn't picked anything up. So, best case scenario, the sensors are still in ship mode and need to be changed to park mode. Worst case scenario, the batteries are dead. So, if you see this uploaded to YouTube, then everything worked out just fine. Now, the tool that I'm going to be using today is a Bartec TechRite Pro. It's the cheapest viable tool that can wake TPMS sensors up. It's not the cheapest TPMS tool out there, but most of the cheap ones cannot change sensor modes. The Bartec TechRite Pro retails for around $250 on Amazon the last I checked, and the next available option after that is, I think, a little over $500 from a brand called Autel, I think, which is from China. Despite the price, I still think the tool is very much worth it, considering how much the dealer wants for each sensor. At least for this one, it opens up the option to have independent sensor sources and independent tire change centers. So at least you're not tied to paying a huge premium for dealer service. And with that mentioned, it's also a handy tool to have because most tire change centers like the Firestone I went to do not have the correct tools to wake Jaguar Land Rover Continental sensors up. They were actually telling me to go to the dealer after getting my tire changed because only the dealer could wake the sensors up and make the TPMS function again. So that's just something to keep in mind if you want to go with an independent tire change center. And one last point, I think this tool is very much worth it if you have more than one Jaguar Land Rover vehicle that uses TPMS, or really any other make or model that uses Continental TPMS sensors. So with all of that said, let's do a quick unboxing of the Bartec tool, then I'll show you guys how to set it up, update it, connect it to your computer, and ultimately we're gonna use the tool to wake those sensors up. And after all the reading I've done about this topic, I have some learnings and thoughts about Jaguar Land Rover TPMS sensors that I'd either attach to the end of this video or maybe dump in another video, so let's jump in. Alright, time to unbox this thing. The Bartec TechRite Pro ships in a simple brown box. There's a simple white label that states the United Kingdom is a country of origin. It also has the Bartec USA's details on the lower left corner. Let's go ahead and cut her up. First thing you see when you open the box is this quick start guide. Instructions on how to set the device up is written on it. Let's set it aside for now and get back to it later. Inside the package you'll find this USB-A to USB-C cable, the Bartec TechRite Pro tool itself. Build quality is pretty substantial, so you have the tool wrapped around in this black rubber or silicone case. We also find this OBD2 cable, and this USB power supply for your wall outlet. Now looking at the sides of the TechRite Pro, you'll find the port that the OBD2 cable attaches to on the bottom, and this USB-C data and charging port on the left. Now going back to the quick start guide, you'll find instructions on setting the tool up on the left. The most important points here is to download and install the TPMS desktop software that Bartec provides, and register the tool so you'll be able to use it. On the right side you find more details on how to download and install TPMS desktop. This is the URL for it, tpmsdesktop.us, so let's go ahead and install the software. Enter that URL on your web browser. Click on this red box to download the software. Press install here. And wait a little while for it to finish downloading the Bartec software. Once the software launches, you'll be greeted with this prompt. Just click agree on that, and you'll find this login window for which you have to create an account first. So let's click on create account here. Fill in the customer registration form with your details and confirm your registration by clicking the link sent to your email. Once you have that out of the way, log in through their online portal and you'll get the option to register your new tool. You'll need the serial number and the name of the dealer for this. If you can't find the name of the dealer you bought the tool from, there's an option to click Other in that drop-down menu. Once you're finished registering the tool, go back to the TPMS desktop screen and log in using your new credentials. Plug the TechRite Pro in using the USB cable, and the software should automatically detect the tool and give you options to update the software. So just click yes on this one and click update to download it. So once it's done downloading, it'll automatically transfer it to the tool and you'll see the tool cycle through these screens. What I found in my case was that there were 6 available updates for the tool, but the tool seemed to be able to only do 2 updates at a time. So I had to go through these screens 3 times. Once you've installed all of the updates, the TPMS desktop software will tell you that your tool is up to date and you're ready to go. Before going about setting all the sensors to park mode from ship mode, I was actually curious what mode they shipped in. I was able to find out using the vehicle inspection function. So you click new service over here, select make and model year listing, look for your vehicle, in this video's case Jaguar, F-Pace 2020. So I click vehicle inspection here and then test sensors. It gives you a list of all four corners, so let's start with the left front. This one took a little while to read, but it eventually was able to do so. And left front is in park mode. Let's move over to the right front. This one read fast, but it said ship mode. So this one's definitely not transmitting to the vehicle. Moving over to the right rear. Same thing, it also says ship mode. Now for the left rear. This one took a while to read. I was worried that the battery will be dead, but the TechRide Pro eventually found it. And this one's in park mode. So we have two sensors, both on the right side in ship mode and both of the left ones in park mode. Now to get the sensors out of ship mode, we hit resume service here and choose our vehicle. Click Relearn, Relearn Drive Right Sync. It's just going to give you some information on the difference between park or drive and ship mode, which is basically what I've been talking about for the last few minutes, so just skip through that. Now once you're in this mode, you can hit the menu button over here and click Set Sensor to Park Mode. So you can do that to the sensors one by one. It's going to wake them up. I'm also doing to the left front sensor over here just to be safe. And it seems to be taking longer to read than it did earlier. So there you go, sensor set to park. Move on to the next one. So again, both right side TPMS sensors are in ship mode. Let's see if doing this changes the mode that they are in. Set sensor to park mode. That was pretty quick. Sensor set to park. And we now try to get it to read the sensor information. And you can see at the bottom of the screen that it now says park mode instead of ship mode. So it looks like we're on the right track here. Let's move on to the right rear tire. Again, do the same thing, set sensor to park mode. Read the sensor data. It's interesting that the car didn't pick the signals up from the two sensors that are already in park mode. It probably needs all four sensors out of ship mode before it will even attempt to pair with any one of them. We'll get back to this later. Again, it says park mode now. Time for the last tire. And now we have all sensors successfully set to park mode. Press enter to continue, and in the next screen, it'll give you some instructions to basically go out on a 20-minute drive. I have a doctor's appointment to get to right now, so that's exactly what we're gonna do. We're sitting at a stoplight 5 minutes into the drive. The error or warning light disappeared, and there you go. All sensors have now been read. We have tire pressures. So there you go. Looks like everything worked out fine. 5 minutes into the drive, the car was able to register each TPMS sensor to the correct corner or position in the vehicle. And we got tire pressure readouts just fine. Now, one thing I'd like to point out is that if you noticed earlier when we were testing each of the TPMS sensors using the Bartec tool, 2 of the sensors were in ship mode and 2 of the sensors were in park mode. Now, based on what we saw today, the car will refuse to register any single TPMS sensor even if it's in park mode until it sees all 4 sensors in park mode. And I think that's because it kind of triangulates sensor positions using different sensors around the vehicle. I'm not too sure about this. When we did see successful registration once we set all 4 sensors to park mode, so that's something to keep in mind. And one last thing, if you found this video helpful, please do click like and subscribe. Like the original Chess Does Stuff channel, I'm trying to grow the subscriber count on this one, and every single like and subscribe will help. So yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.